universal scripture lesson, and we also do a harmony gym, something on the lighter side, or something to give us another way of looking at our things that are happening to us. And I want to start out the season today. This is the last day of November, and Christmas season is upon us, the holidays, the holy days. And this harmony gym is called the tablecloth. A brand new pastor and his wife, assigned to their first ministry to reopen a Brooklyn suburban church, arrived in early October, excited about this opportunity. When they saw their church, it was very run down, needing much work. They set a goal to have everything done in time to have their first service on Christmas Eve. The two worked hard, repairing pews, plastering walls, painting, and so forth, and on December the 18th were ahead of schedule and just about finished. On December 19th, a terrible tempest, a driving rainstorm, hit the area and lasted for 2 days. On the 21st, the pastor went over to the church. His heart sank when he saw that the roof had leaked, causing a large area of plaster about 20 feet by 8 feet to fall off the front wall of the sanctuary just behind the pulpit, beginning about head high. The pastor cleaned up the mess on the floor, not knowing what else to do, but postponed the Christmas Eve service, and he headed home. On the way, he passed a flea market sale for charity, and he stopped in. One of the items was a beautiful handmade ivory-colored crocheted tablecloth with exquisite work, fine colors, and a cross embroidered right in the center. It was just the right size to cover up the hole on the front wall. He bought it and headed back to the church. By this time, it had started to snow. An older woman running for the bus from the opposite direction missed it. The pastor invited her to wait in the warm church until the next bus 45 minutes later. She sat in a pew and paid no attention as he got a ladder, hangers, and so forth to hang the tablecloth as a wall tapestry. The pastor could hardly believe how beautiful it looked, and it covered up the entire problem area. Then he noticed the woman walking down the center aisle. Her face was like a sheet. "Pastor," she asked, "where did you get that tablecloth?" The pastor explained. The woman asked him to check the lower right corner to see if the initials EBG were crocheted into it there. They were. These were the initials of the woman, and she had made this tablecloth 35 years before. She could hardly believe it as the pastor told her how he had just gotten the tablecloth. The woman explained that before the war, she and her husband were well-to-do people in Austria. When the Nazis came, she was forced to leave. Her husband was going to follow her the next week. She was captured, sent to prison, and never saw her husband or her home again. The pastor wanted to give her the tablecloth, but she asked him to keep it for the church. The pastor insisted on driving her home, which was the least he could do. She lived on the other side of Staten Island and was only in Brooklyn for the day for a house cleaning job. Then on Christmas Eve, what a wonderful service they had. The church was almost as full of spirits, and spirits were high. The music was great. Following the service, the pastor and his wife greeted everyone at the door, and many said they would return. One older man, whom the pastor recognized from the neighborhood, continued to sit in one of the pews and stare, and the pastor wondered why he wasn't leaving. The man asked him where he got the tablecloth on the front wall, because it was identical to one that his wife had made years ago when they lived in Austria before the war. And how could two tablecloths so much alike be? He told the pastor how the Nazis came, how he forced his wife to flee for her safety, and he was supposed to follow, but was arrested and imprisoned. He never saw his wife or his home again for 35 years. The pastor asked him if he would allow him to take him for a little ride. They drove to Staten Island and to the same house where the pastor had taken the woman 3 days earlier. He helped the man climb the 3 flights of stairs to the woman's apartment, knocked on the door, and he saw the greatest Christmas reunion he could ever imagine. And our Harmony Gem today is on the compensation of action. The Christian Illumines reads, "Every man shall receive his own reward according to his own labor." The Hindus say everyone reaps the fruits of his own deeds. From our Jewish brethren, for the Lord is the God of knowledge, and by him actions are weighed. The Taoist says, the recompense of light and dark follows, as the shadow follows the figure. The Dakota say we will be known forever by the tracks we leave. And the Universal Harmonist says actions call forth their own just response. May this universal scripture lesson open unto us the realization of our oneness with the All One. Thank you. Now, if you'd open to the back of the Wings of